Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Death Trash for Microsoft Windows via Steam. Death Trash is a post-apocalyptic action RPG developed by Crafting Legends. The game can be played solo or in multiplayer. Death Trash is set in a dystopian world governed by sentient machines. In the desperate wasteland, humans struggle to survive, strange cults roam the plains, and others worship the flesh titans. The game is entering early access today with a full release expected to be in 2022 for multiple platforms. So what is the game like to play? Well, you start out by creating your character and you've got a nice few visual options to choose from. You can set your starting skills and statistics, then you awake in a machine habitat to begin your adventure. Combat wise, you can use a variety of firearms from pistols, shotguns or rifles, with the game adopting a twin stick system. Melee combat also features swords, heavy clubs or the super fast Wolverine inspired claws. You also have a dodge ability to evade incoming attacks, but these come at a stamina cost. Generally, I'd say the controls, they're smooth and simple. I played with a controller and it was pretty well optimized and it was very user friendly. I didn't have any massive problems with that. As you explore, kill foes and search locations, you'll uncover a wide variety of items, from armor, ammunition or other resources that can be used in crafting. Health is replenished for the most part by the flesh. You'll be munching away on all sorts of organs to gain strength for the struggles ahead. There's also focus energy, which is like your special power. This energy can be used for special equipable skills like cloaking devices, shields or stun gun type powers. And you can even vomit on demand, which is a handy lubricant that you'll need in certain situations. I think it's the first game I've ever played where you can actually have a button for vomiting. You gotta like that. The enemies range from fleshy foes with various attack patterns or the sort of classic raider types. Leveling up lets you choose to increase a variety of skills or stats, such as your health, learning how to be a lockpick, how to improve your stealth, or even having a skill that lets you communicate with wildlife. All of those items that I mentioned that you collect can be sold to traders, and this is really essential in the beginning because your inventory really fills up very quickly. This was a little bit of an issue for me at the first hour or two, but the problems do get resolved once you acquire some learnable knowledge. Learnable knowledge is spread throughout the game and helps you identify new skills, such as crafting, for example. Once you learn this, you can deconstruct weapons and various things that you collect, and that really does free the space up in your inventory. And then those resources are just put into a sort of a mass bulk part of your inventory that you can use to make various items like ammunition, for example. A special mention has to go to the NPCs in the game. They are a bizarre and quirky bunch with witty conversational interludes. Whether you're chatting to a hairy naked man, a headless cyborg or a giant meat sack, all the characters have a lot of charm and they were pretty memorable. I personally really enjoyed the kind of sarcastic and silly nature of the dialogue, which at times had this sort of hint of Monty Python-esque about it. It really did help balance off the really grim world and the bleak surroundings. It seasoned it with a little bit of light relief and comedy value. In terms of the game world, you're free to explore at your own pace. The world map is interactive, giving you the option to choose where to go or how fast you wish to travel there. But be warned, you are not alone. On the road, you'll have random encounters or bump into an anomaly. Now these may be friend or foe, so travel with care. Personally, the game world reminded me a little bit of Fallout, the original Fallout games. Not so much in terms of gameplay, as Death Trash is a much faster pace, but in terms of its style and its theme. So in summary, Death Trash is a very playable game considering it's in early access. The final game is estimated to be around 20 hours, including both the main and the side quests, with this version maxing out around the 5 or 6 hour mark. The pixel art graphics are simple but very effective, with cool looking NPCs and a dark, gritty game world balanced off with some nice comedy flourishes. In terms of the presentation, the developers have done a really great job with good font choices and readable sizes. Everything is clean, clear and bold. meaning you don't have any of those lean forward moments to read what the fonts actually say on screen. The menus are well designed, they're simple, they're easy to use, and it just, you know what, it makes the day-to-day gameplay so much easier and so much more satisfying. Because we've all played those games where just the actual infrastructure of the menus is really poor and it just makes it become a chore, but not with this one. Sound-wise, the effects were solid, but sadly the game doesn't feature any voice acting. In terms of music, the soundtrack is a type of synth music with a strong sense of dread running through it, and it really does perfectly suit that kind of bleak game world. Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? The art style, game world and NPCs have a lot of character and charm. The character creation and progression are well thought out. Ranged combat mixed with special powers make for some satisfying skirmishes. Much like the original Fallout games, Death Trash lets you be a complete scoundrel by going rogue. The game has a wicked sense of humour, and it's an excellent example of well thought out presentation, menus and accessibility. What's bad? Sadly, there's no voice acting, as I said, the melee combat is a little bit limited, the core story needs a lot of fleshing out, pun intended, and at present you've only got a few hours of content to get your teeth into. So what's the verdict? Death Trash is a very playable game that's well thought out and addictive to play through. The game world is disturbed, the characters are quirky, and the combat, exploration and core gameplay elements were pretty good fun on the whole. Most of the issues that I encountered with the game got resolved as I progressed deeper into the adventure, such as the limited inventory space being remedied once you discovered the ability to deconstruct and craft. The melee combat at first seemed limited with no real blocking option, but again, as you unlock more skills or implants, these issues become less of a problem. It's the sort of game you can sit there and play for hours, explore the map, get to know the locals, do a bit of crafting, or just go rogue and attack everyone you see. As I said, the core narrative, it needs sharpening up, but this early access release is only 1/3 of the final product, so I'd be hopeful that this will be improved in time. Okay, so what score would I give it as it stands? Well, I'm always a bit reluctant to score a game that's essentially unfinished, but based on what I've seen so far, I'd say it's around the kind of 8.4 out of 10 mark, something like that. Now, if the developers finish the game with the same standards of what I've already seen, then I would say the final release in 2022 will be pushing kind of 9 out of 10, but I will reserve judgment until that is finished. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.